The Women of Lilac Street, written by Annie Murray, read by Annie Aldington. February, 1925. Chapter 1.
Aggie, come here and peg these out for me.
Though her mother's shrill call couldn't have failed to reach her ears, Aggie didn't move from the front window where she stood peering out at the street. Her little sister May balanced on her right hip, clinging to her like a monkey. Aggie was a slender but sturdy 12-year-old, her solemn face sprinkled with freckles and fly-away red hair cut severely at jaw-length. May, who was 3, looked quite different, her hair dark and curly, eyes a gravy brown. Upstairs Dad was coughing. Though barefoot, Aggie was too caught up in her own thoughts to notice the cold or anything else, like her grandmother's tutting from behind her. Aggie moved even closer to the window, the ragged neck curtain bunched in her left hand. There was a long singe mark at the bottom edge where Dad had fallen asleep with his woodbine too close to it. Nana said they'd been lucky the whole house hadn't gone up. Aggie Green, she whispered, took a stand by the window where her enemies could not see her. They had no idea that Aggie was on their trail. That's how spies talked, she thought, though she didn't really know. Outside, passers-by were like blurred ghosts in the murk. A feeble winter sun was just beginning to strain through a fog that was so thick you could hardly see the houses on the other side. The terraces faced each other like a resigned old married couple across Lilac Street, in an ordinary Birmingham neighbourhood.
Aggie!
It was a furious shriek now.
Coming, Mum!
But still she didn't obey.
Better shift yourself, wench.
Nana's voice broke into her thoughts.
Or there'll be trouble.
Nana was perched on the edge of the sagging horsehair sofa, keeping out of the road, which meant out from under the feet of her daughter Jen, Aggie's mother, who was not in the most reasonable of moods. Aggie's grandmother, Frida Adams, was dressed as usual in black from head to foot. She sat ramrod straight, her right arm holding up her walking stick, the other massaging her sore hip, wincing now and again. The cold in the room didn't help. Some people had nice front parlours kept for best. Theirs was an overspill room, with only the old sofa in it. The fireplace held no comfort, just a pile of cold ash. But Nana seemed to be able to sit endlessly waiting, as if a whole life had been made of patience. It was Saturday. Aggie's 2 brothers and her other sister had all been sent out to play, out of the way. But May, the youngest, had a cold, and Mum had kept Aggie, the eldest, in to help. As well as spying, Aggie was waiting for Mrs. Southgate to come out of her house 2 doors down to go to the shops, and she never went anywhere without Lily. Lily was 4, a year older than May, and sometimes at the weekend Mrs. Southgate would let Aggie bring May into her house, or, for a special treat, they'd go out for a little walk to Smallheath Park, where the girls could play and listen to the band. But instead of Rose Southgate, something else caught her eye. 2 little lads, about 7 and 8, were sneaking down the road with some string and a look of mischief on their faces. "Look at them 2, Aggie said to May. She hoiked May further up on her hip, then rested one of her feet on the other, trying to warm them. "Oh, they better not be going to Mrs. Taylor's. Bet they are." Aggie could see what the boys were up to. They were going to tie string to someone's knocker, and probably the one next door as well, and sneak round into the entry to pull the string.
"What's going on out there?"
Nana asked. Pointing for May, Aggie said, "Look, see? The knocker'll go bang, and there won't be no one there." May watched with wide eyes. "They're going to Mrs. Taylor's," she told her grandmother.
"Oh,"
Nana said, sucking air in through her remaining teeth with a look of mischief.
"There'll be fireworks."
She looked at Aggie, po-faced, then winked. Aggie wished they lived over the other side, so that she could see Mrs. Taylor come cursing to her door. Even though Phyllis Taylor was an upright religious woman who sailed around with an air of being above everyone else, when provoked enough she would drop her la-di-da.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?